It's a Relationship Friday. This is our Dear AM segment where you get to write to us if you're having any relationship issue at home. We'll share it with everybody else. We will try and see how best we can help you out of that situation. So here's a letter that we received. My wife lied. She's 7 years older, 6 years, no child, and I got another lady pregnant. Here's the letter that we received.
Dear AM, before marriage, she told me I am a year older than her. I was just 32 years then. After 2 years, while we were expecting the fruit of the womb, I came across hidden educational certificates of hers indicating that she was born in 1974. I was born in 1981, by the way. I reacted very furiously and nearly sacked her. Dear AM, it's been 4 years of waiting and grappling with childbirth together. She's 45 years old now, and I am 38. Recently, I had an affair with another woman and got her pregnant. I now see my customarily married wife as my elder sister since I got to know that she was older. No sexual feeling for her again. My plan now is to see my wife off customarily after the other lady delivers. Dear AM, help me out, please. Kobina from Sunyai.
All right, thank you, Kobina, for this letter that you sent to us. Towards the end of the letter, I thought that this was something that you know the way out already because you said you're trying to send her off customarily after the second lady gives birth. But there's a lot of things in this letter that we have to digest, Kojo.
There is a lot to digest, and I guess first question is even though he plans to divorce his customarily married wife, it sounds as if he's not sure whether that's the right thing to do. I understand his disappointment. Nobody likes to be lied to.
Of course.
But it is also interesting how the knowledge of her age has changed his feelings towards her. Personal experience. Until 2014, I had never dated anyone younger than me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it was never about the age. I didn't go out seeking out people older than me. I just meet someone like them and then... But it seems that a lot of people attach certain physical conditions to whether or not they can, feel sexually attracted to someone. He says he now sees her as a sister.
Yeah, an elder sister.
An older sister, yeah, just because she's older. So whatever attraction he had for her that allowed him to be having sex with her as his wife all this time without, having a child, that attraction is dead because he now knows that she's older than him. Or is it the fact that she lied to him that has turned off his feelings?
Could be.
Yeah, it could be. It could be.
Could be, or the fact that he's seen somebody else.
Yeah. He also seems very, very concerned about having children. That seems to be a priority to him, which is why he claims to have gone to impregnate this other woman. Look, I would say to that, this is my personal view, still get tested. Go and do fertility tests. Because if one woman can lie to you about your age, another can lie to you about whether the child is yours. So I think if really you are that obsessed with having children, then maybe you should do a test. Make sure that things are okay. Don't take it for granted that you have been able to father a child. It may not be yours. People lie, right? But at the same time, the lady, 45 years old, it's not
45, 38. Yeah, it's not medically impossible for somebody 45 to have a baby. Exactly.
So if indeed they are able to get over this issue of trust, which appears to have been broken because she lied, and this physical attraction which appears to have disappeared, if they are able to be counseled through it, then it's not impossible for them to have a child. There are hospitals here in Ghana that are working wonders with IVF, and people who are believed to be beyond menopause are having children. So 45 does not enter the realms of impossibility.
True.
That is, if they are able to overcome the problems that they appear to be having with trust and physical attraction.
When I first read the letter, I thought, Kobina, don't link the age to the fact that she's not getting pregnant, because you can't just say that straight away because she's older than you. Somebody lying to you, that's a big deal. That's a big deal. You don't mind if they're older. I'm a woman, and I don't know if I was older, that would be a cool thing. I don't know. Comes it all? You have to really think about it.
I think it depends on the two of you, doesn't
exactly.
it? Yeah.
And then decide that, yeah, I'm older than you, but I like you. There are things that I like about you. I don't care about the age. So I see that Kobina didn't get the opportunity to figure it out himself and to decide that irrespective, he would go ahead with it. So that's very disappointing. He also stresses on the customary marriage. And I wanted to say that whether it's customary or not, that's legit marriage right there.
It is an important point, though. It's important because according to Ghanaian laws, if all you have is a customary marriage, like I did, then you can actually have more than one wife. You can marry more than one person. You don't have to divorce one in order to marry another.
Okay.
That is that is an important point.
Okay, yeah, of course.
So if what he wants are a list of options,
then this is also available.
The fact that he's customarily married makes this also a possibility.
Okay.
It may not be the right thing to do or the best thing for him, but it is one of the options available for consideration.
What I wanted to say was that it is still legitimate marriage.
Of course,
you know.
of course,
so
of course.
The fact that you highlight on that doesn't really mean that it is not marriage. But listen, there are so many things in there that we can't deal with alone. That's why we're opening the phone lines now for you out there watching us to get involved. Later on, we'll get the psychologist and a counselor to help us as well. So 030221169102. You can give us a call right now and have a say on this letter. Let's bring back the letter to you again.
AM. Before marriage, she told me I am a year older than her. I was just 32 years then. After 2 years, while we were expecting the fruit of the womb, I came across hidden educational certificates of hers indicating that she was born in 1974. I was born in 1981, by the way. I reacted very furiously and nearly sacked her. Dear AM, it's been 4 years of waiting and grappling with childbirth together. She's 45 years old now, and I am 38. Recently, I had an affair with another woman and got her pregnant. I now see my customarily married wife as my elder sister since I got to know that she was older. No sexual feeling for her again. My plan now is to see my wife off customarily after the other lady delivers. Dear AM, help me out please. Kobina from Sunyai.
And that's Kobina's letter to us from Sunyai. Peter Mwako, I am furious, joining us with his thoughts. Good morning, Peter.
Good morning. How are you?
Thank you for calling. Let's hear you.
Thank you. How are you? Age doesn't matter. In life, age doesn't matter. So the fact that the guy got to know that the lady is older than her, older than him, doesn't mean they can't continue with their life. So the age doesn't matter. So my advice is the guys, forget about the age. Then concentrate on the.
But he talks about the feelings as well. He sees her differently. Doesn't that matter?
That one is true, but the age doesn't matter in life. So the guy should forget about the age. Yeah? You have to concentrate on the reason why they came together to be husband and wife. So that's the most important thing in life, Mama.
Okay. All right, Peter. Thank you very much for sharing. Let's speak to Mary in the UK, Kojo.
Yeah. Hello, Mary. Good morning. Thank you for calling us.
Good morning, Kojo.
So talk to us. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I don't think the age has to do with anything, the childbirth or something. What I think is the lie. Yeah, the lie.
You think it's the lie that has turned him off?
Yes, but the age has got nothing to do with childbirth or anything. You know, lying to a partner is something that is a no-go. You know, it brings lack of trust. So no matter what she does now, the trust has already been broken. You know, so when it comes to the childbirth, I don't think it has got nothing to do. Even I think Janet Jackson also had a child at the age of 49.
Mm-hmm.
So there's nothing wrong with that. So I think if he wants to continue with the marriage, then he should look at other options. But they should work it out about the life so they build the trust again.
Is it possible to do that after a lie of this magnitude? Is it possible to rebuild the trust? And how?
Yeah.
How should they do it?
Building trust is just communication, really. They should be able to communicate well and be able to address the issues that is at hand. If only the guy is still interested in her. But from the letter he sent, it seems like the love is already disappeared. So he has some other choices to make as well, but he should consider the woman too because she spends so much time with him. Yeah. So that's my take on that.
Thank you so much.
Because I really admire your Ghana, the Ghana tour or something. Please, I was the one that sent you a message. You can put in a documentary.
Oh, okay.
Really nice.
Yes, we're working on that actually. There will be a full feature on the Ghana Grand Tour.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mary. Thanks for that. All right, should we take some more calls?
Yeah, let's speak to Elias. Elias, Amuji is in Soga Copper. Elias, good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning.
Yeah, Kobina is asking for help. What can you say to him?
Yeah, to me, the age doesn't. Yeah, thank you. To me, the age doesn't matter, but it is the life. But I would say that in medical terms, you see, the man too can have a problem. The age doesn't matter at all. If his sponsors are not enough to impregnate the woman, it will be very difficult for the woman to get pregnant. So I will ask him, the woman that he impregnated, how old is she? So to me, he can go on with the woman. He should forget about that lie. Because sometimes when you are aging, especially the women, and you are looking for someone to marry, and you are not getting, it's very difficult to mention your age. So to me, I don't care.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Elias.
I am thinking that probably the problem has come from both of them when it comes to impregnating a woman. Because if you are a man, your sponsor is not enough, and the woman is a little bit old, it will be very difficult for you to get impregnate her.
All right, Elias, thank you very much for sharing your thoughts. And it's interesting to hear guys say that age doesn't matter, the lie doesn't matter, you can move on from that. It's very interesting.
A friend of mine said something controversial once. He said that men lie often, but women lie about huge things.
Yeah.
So a man's lie will be
women lie about huge things.
Well, that's his view, okay? I wonder whether you agree. So
men lie about huge things
too.
So
his example is that a man's lie will be, I'm working late, when he's actually out with his friends, okay? But a woman's lie is, that's your baby.
Oh.
Or I'm 7 years. I'm a year younger than you when actually she's 7
years.
So women lie about massive things, things upon which there is a lot to lose, while men just lie about little things to avoid trouble.
No, you don't.
Is it true?
No, you don't.
Okay.
I'm working late, could mean I am hanging out with some other girl.
And that's a big lie.
That's a big lie.
Some transient girl who will not stay long.
No way. Who cares? She's still in your life. Okay. Let's talk about Kwamina. It's not me and you. Isaac Sapo, your boys in Sunyai. Hello, Isaac. Good morning. Thanks for calling. Hi, Isaac.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning, Isaac. Thank you so much for reaching out. Kojo will talk to you, Kojo.
Yeah, Isaac, how are you doing?
I'm doing great.
All right. Well, share your thoughts with us.
Yes. It depends on the individual. For some, the age difference is a big issue. So when you meet that person and the person finds out that the lie, it's a big trouble. In the first place, why did the lady lie? Maybe the lady lied because she found out that the guy is not ready to date somebody who is older than her. That may be the reason why she lied in the first place. So after finding out that she is older than him, that is what is making the guy see the woman as his elder sister, and she's not sexually attracted to her. And the childbirth does not depend on the age. Like you said, he should try to do that fertility test to know whether that lady she had affairs with, which he's boasting around that he has been able to pregnant the woman, to find out why. Maybe that child may not also be his. So he should try to find out what is causing that child difficult. And it may not be the age different, but he may not be ready to date someone who is older than him. That is the problem I see here.
Thank you for that. Thank you very much. And love to everybody in Sunyani.
Coincidentally, that's where the letter is coming from.
Indeed.
But let's link up with Reverend Fred Kranchimensa. He's a pastor and a counselor. He's worked with us on Dear AM before. It was fantastic, the thoughts that he shared with us. Really, really helpful. The feedback was great. And we thought this is another loaded one that we need some professional help. So let's reach out to him. He joins us. He joins us live for a solution. Rev, good morning. Good to see you.
Good morning, Mama V. It's always a blessing to be on your show.
So you've read this letter. First of all, can you break it down in terms of what you see embedded in this letter?
Hello?
Hello, Rev, if you can hear me. I'm asking, after reading the letter, if you could break it down for us.
Right. Obviously, it's not a very beautiful situation. It's unfortunate that any man will have to go through that. You know, in Ghana, it is a legal ground for divorce if a spouse gets into a relationship with deception of any kind or fraud. It is a legal ground for divorce. And so I won't advise that any prospective couple will hide things like that or lie about things like age. And even if it's flimsy, you don't have to lie about it. Because if you do, it will catch up with you. This is a clear situation of some sort of confusion in the mind of this gentleman. And like I said from the beginning, it's rather unfortunate that any person should go through this at this time of his life. But notwithstanding, I want to tell the gentleman that it is not the end of his happiness. It is not the end of his life. It is just the beginning of another chapter of his life. Many people have gone through situations like this and they have scaled through. I always say that anybody who is created in the image of God has the capacity to overcome every situation. So dear gentlemen, in as much as it looks a bit complicated, I want to assure you that this is a problem that can be overcome. With just little external help, I believe that your capacity will rise above this challenge and you will have answers.
Except that he's gotten somebody else pregnant. And he's thinking about letting this woman who lied to him go away. So how do you bring everything together?
Okay, my dear gentleman, you see, I can understand what you're going through. Any person will react the way you are reacting, but it's just a first reaction of a shock. It's just a first reaction of something he is not comfortable with, something he is not happy with. He's angry, he's furious, so every decision he is taking out of anger and this kind of emotion might not be the best. I understand you, dear gentleman, but I will say that, you see, divorce is not a good thing. I always say that divorce should be the very, very, very last option to consider. You should always think about how to patch up with your spouse. You should always think about how to make it work, you see. Going through divorce because you are angry and because you think you have impregnated another woman and you want to go with that woman and leave this one, I don't think it is the best decision to make. Right now, in the heat of the anger, in the heat of the confusion, he might think that it is the best thing to do. But please, it's not the best. There is a place for forgiveness. There is a place for reconciliation. Talking about forgiveness, you know, Mama V, forgiveness is something that is very sweet when you are receiving, but very difficult when you are giving. But it helps either way. When you learn to forgive, that anger will leave your heart, and then you will see things more clearly. You will see that this is a problem that can be solved. I know that it is not easy, but you are up to the task. Try to forgive her and try to work things out. You possibly should bring a third person into it, talk about it, find it in your heart to forgive her. And then if I were you, it's unfortunate that he's had a pregnancy out of wedlock, but we can always make lemonade out of lemons. In other words, we can always make the best out of the worst situations. The child is a blessing from God. So embrace the child, take the child, take care of the child, but stay in your marriage. You see, because sometimes it looks like the grass is greener at the other side. But it only looks greener because probably it is artificial. Brighten the corner where you are. This is the woman you have married. Unfortunately, she deceived you and she lied to you, but we can always forgive people for sins. If you were at the receiving end, you would have been glad if she would forgive you and go on with you. So take the child, treat the woman well, and then work on your marriage, and I believe that things will work out.
Rev, does it also matter that he doesn't feel sexually attracted to her?
You see, it does, but these are things that can be worked on. Our feelings are just a product of our thoughts. A man feels angry because he's having angry thoughts. A man feels happy because he's having glad thoughts. Whatever you think about translates into emotions and you express it through your feelings. So if he gets external help, he can work through that in his mind and he will start feeling attracted to the woman. After all, this is a woman he married and he was attracted to her and he was sexually attracted to her. So these are things that can be worked out.
Kojo?
Yeah, Reverend, I've noticed that throughout this, we're thinking about how to counsel the person who wrote to us. But it occurs to me that the lady, after telling this lie and finding herself in this situation, might also need a bit of advice on how to proceed. What would you say to her?
Well, we don't crucify people because of their past. She might have had reasons why she lied. Probably she lied out of fear. I'm not endorsing it, but I'm just saying we shouldn't crucify her for what she did. Everybody has a past, and everybody makes mistakes in different ways. The fact that you have not made that particular mistake does not mean you are a saint. Probably this gentleman we are talking about has also done some things which are also wrong. It doesn't make what she did wrong. So I want to encourage her that it's unfortunate she did what she did, but possibly she has repented, possibly she has regretted. What I would say to her is that in all humility, she should try to patch up. You see, when people are hurt, you just have to be humble towards them. Whatever they say, whatever they do, you just quietly look at them and keep trusting that things will work out. So to the lady, please, it's not the end of the world. You have made a mistake. A mistake is common with people, but to stay in the mistake is not. So put yourself together and then work on your marriage.
Wow, great advice there.
Well, Reverend Fred Kranchi-Mensah, thank you so much for your time this morning. Thank you for the solutions that you bring to the table. He's a pastor and a psychologist and always really helpful to our conversations.
You are most welcome.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I certainly hope that we have provided some assistance. But what a situation to live with! What a situation to live with, and I feel bad for both of them, you know, and even also for the third lady who is now pregnant. I wonder how she entered the scene, and I certainly hope that she was not lied to. That you know, the same way that he didn't like it when his wife lied to him, I hope he didn't lie to someone else to get her into a relationship with a married man, you know. But gosh, what a tangle!
Yeah.
What a tangle, eh?
I guess the bottom line is that F word that Reverend Fred Kranchi-Mensah talks about. That's forgiveness. It's hard if you're giving it, but if you're receiving it, it
Very
sounds
sweet.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
We all need it.
It goes back to that.
So.
Yeah. Sometimes when you look at a situation, you tell yourself, if it happened to me, I will never forgive. Like I will never go past it. But if you're to calm down a bit, relax, and reflect, then you'd see that you've even done greater things that people have forgiven you.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I like the hope that he brings to the situation. There's a lot of hope in there.
Yeah, indeed. Indeed. This is not the end.
Well, what is your own story? Is this something that you're having difficulty, resolving? If you have something very challenging, please write to us. info@myjoyonline.com. Write to us so that we can give you the needed support.
Yeah, just make sure you put Dear AM into the subject bar and then tell us what your dilemma is. So we're here to help. We're here to discuss it with you and get you some expert advice.
Yeah. I'm going to write to Dear AM about what you said.
Which one?
Big lie, little lie. The men don't say the little lies, and then when a woman lies, it's really huge.
It seems to have really cut you.
Yeah.
That must mean it's true.
No, it's not. No way.
Really?
No way.
What was the last lie you told in your relationship?
I don't remember.
Okay.
I don't remember.
But it wasn't a small one.
Are you saying that women sit down to plan their lie?
Well, I'm saying that women are very, very intelligent, very smart.
But men are dumb, like...
No, well, I mean, I think men perhaps imagine that they are on top of every situation when sometimes they are not. But yes, women can surprise you.
So when you've traveled with another woman and you are saying that is work, that's small lie.
You see, what you will probably realize is that most of the men who do that, they don't even bother telling a lie. They are in a relationship that has deteriorated to the point where they are not even giving updates on what they are up to, you know, and then they are out there doing what they like until they get caught, and then it turns into a big embarrassment. But yeah, those are the lies men tell, you know, like in order to do something fleeting and pleasing, you know, just to get some small, meaningless pleasure, a man will tell a lie. But a woman will tell a lie that can change your life. That's according to my friend. It's not my view. My friend's view.
You sound like an expert on this.
Me?
That will be when we put it on the table.
I'm not a woman. How could I be an expert on this?
When we return...
I'm just expressing a view, right?
When we return, a woman has climbed Mount Kilimanjaro to demand online safety, especially for children. She took such a big risk, all because she wanted us to pay attention. And she's Ghanaian, by the way. She wants us to pay more attention to this issue, online safety for children, especially for children. And I worry about that because you can't always be there. You can't always put a limit. And you pray that the child remembers what you've taught him or her so that they do the right thing. That conversation is up next.